Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something straight up when you woke up this morning. What was the first thing you said to yourself? Was it something empowering, something that lit a fire under your dreams? Or was it something that made you hit snooze, roll over, and start the day already feeling behind? Listen, your mornings set the tone for everything, everything. The way you talk to yourself before the world even gets its claws into you. That's the secret weapon. That's the real difference between a day where you crush it and a day where you're just reacting and surviving. So today, I'm giving you 7 things you must tell yourself every single morning. No negotiations, no excuses. You want the life you dream about? Then you better start talking to yourself like the person who's going to live that life. Let's go. 1. I am in control of my day. Your alarm doesn't control you. Your boss doesn't control you. That inbox, it doesn't own you. You are in charge of how you show up. Say it out loud. Own it. You have way more control over your energy, your attitude, and your focus than you think. Every morning, you remind yourself, this is my day. I'm in control. 2. I am capable of handling anything that comes my way. Let's be real. Life is unpredictable. Challenges will hit you. Traffic will suck. People will disappoint you. Big deal. Remind yourself first thing in the morning that you are a problem-solving machine. You have survived every bad day so far, and you're still standing. I can handle anything needs to be your mental armor before you walk out that door. 3. Today, I choose progress over perfection. Perfectionism is a dream killer. It's procrastination wearing a fancy suit. You don't need to be perfect today. You need to make progress, one small step, one uncomfortable action, that's it. Every morning, fire yourself up with the truth, progress, not perfection. Done is better than perfect. 4. I am worthy of success, love, and happiness. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you matter. Stop looking for approval like it's oxygen. You need to be the first voice that validates you every single morning. Say it even if you don't believe it yet. I am worthy, I am enough, I deserve to live fully. Repeat it until you feel it, because that belief will change your life. 5. I will not let fear hold me back today. Fear is natural. Fear is normal, but fear is not the boss of you. Fear doesn't get to run your life anymore. In the morning, remind yourself, I see you, fear, but you're not driving today. I'm doing it scared. I'm moving forward anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. 6. I have everything I need to win today. You don't need more time. You don't need more money. You don't need anyone's permission. You have what you need right now, a brain, a heart, 2 feet, and the ability to make choices. Remind yourself, I'm resourceful, I'm ready, I've got this. When you believe you have enough, you move differently. You move with power. 7. Today is a gift and I'm going to own it. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Another sign, a better mood. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Today is the opportunity. Today is the blessing. Don't waste it scrolling second, guessing or playing small. Every morning say, today matters, I matter, let's go. Look, it's not magic. It's not some overnight miracle. It's discipline. It's deciding that before you deal with emails, kids, bosses, news alerts, before you let the world tell you who you are going to tell yourself who you are first. You rewire your brain by speaking it into reality. You win the day in the first 5 minutes. So tomorrow morning, before you even check your phone, you say these 7 things. You say them out loud. You say them like you mean it. Because the world needs you at your best. And guess what? You need you at your best. Let's go. Your mornings are where you win or lose the day, plain and simple. When you wake up, you're at your most powerful point of choice, because in that very first moment, your mind is clean, it's a blank slate. The first few things you say to yourself in that window of time will either build you up or set you up to stay stuck. Telling yourself, I am in control of my day, doesn't just sound good, it's a command, it's a mindset, it's a decision to be the boss of your own actions, your reactions, and your energy. Think about how most people start their day. They grab their phones immediately. check their emails, scroll through social media, and before they even put their feet on the floor, they've handed over their mental power to someone else's agenda. Now they're reacting, not leading. They're already stressed, behind, and running on someone else's schedule. You have to understand something crucial. Control isn't about micromanaging every second or avoiding problems. Control is about owning your response, your emotions, and your focus, no matter what happens. When you wake up and declare, "I am in control of my day," you plant a flag in the ground. You're saying, no matter what comes at me, no matter who cuts me off in traffic, no matter what unexpected email shows up, I decide how I will respond. I decide what kind of energy I bring to my work, my family, my goals. That single thought creates a mental boundary that protects your power. It sets your brain on a path of intentional living instead of drifting through the day, wondering why you feel so drained and frustrated by noon. Science backs this up too. When you make a deliberate statement in the morning about being in control, your brain starts looking for evidence to support it. This is called the reticular activating system, RAS, at work. The RAS filters your reality, showing you opportunities and resources that match your dominant thoughts. If you tell yourself you're out of control, your brain will show you chaos. If you tell yourself you're in control, your brain will show you choices, options, and power moves you can make. It's not about pretending bad things won't happen, they will. Life is unpredictable. People will say dumb things. Deadlines will shift. Challenges will pop up. But guess what? You can't control the world. You can only control yourself, and that is more than enough. When you take ownership of your day, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your results. Being in control also means recognizing that you have permission to set boundaries. You don't have to answer every text right away. You don't have to say yes to every request. You get to prioritize what matters most. You can choose to invest your first energy into your goals, your health, your relationships, whatever you decide is worthy of your best focus. Let's be real, there will be days when you don't feel like you're in control. You'll wake up tired, annoyed, stressed. That's normal. This is exactly why telling yourself, "I am in control of my day," is a discipline, not a mood. It's not something you say because you feel like it. It's something you say to create the feeling you need. It's leadership, self-leadership, and it's non-negotiable if you want to live a life you're proud of. Every time you remind yourself that you are in control, you reclaim a little piece of your freedom. You create space between what happens to you and how you choose to handle it. And in that space is where your power lies. That's where you make decisions that align with your goals, your values, your bigger vision for your life. Let me be very clear. Motivation is not going to save you when life gets messy. What saves you is discipline, and discipline is built by choices, small ones, repeated daily. Declaring control over your day is one of those small but massive choices. It's a reset button. It's a mental cue that no matter how yesterday went, today is a brand new chance to steer your life where you want it to go. When you own your mornings, you own your life, and it starts with a decision you make before you even leave the bed. Say it out loud, shout it if you have to. "I am in control of my day." Let it sink in. Let it remind you that your thoughts are not random, they are programmable. And you, my friend, are the programmer. You don't have to control everything around you. You don't need everything to go perfectly. You just need to control the one thing you absolutely can yourself, your mindset, your attitude, your energy. Wake up tomorrow morning, sit on the edge of your bed, and tell yourself with power and certainty, "I am in control of my day." Say it before you pick up your phone. Say it before you check your notifications. Say it until you feel it vibrating through your bones. Watch how different your day feels when you start it from a place of strength instead of chaos. You are in control. Not your boss, not your calendar, not your fears, you, Now act like it. Self-talk is one of the most powerful tools you have, and most people completely underestimate it. Every single morning, you are given a chance to program your mind for success or sabotage. What you say to yourself matters. It's not cheesy and it's not some feel good fluff. It's neuroscience. The way you talk to yourself literally wires your brain to either move forward or stay stuck. If you're serious about chasing your goals and building a life you're proud of, you have to start every morning with intentional, empowering self-talk. When you wake up and immediately let your mind drift into fear, doubt, comparison, or criticism, you are setting the tone for the whole day. That's not just a bad mood, that's a neural pathway being reinforced. You're making it easier for your brain to default to negativity tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. But when you wake up and deliberately speak words of power, belief, and resilience to yourself, you start rewiring your mind to look for opportunities, solutions, and reasons to keep going. You create a new default, one that works for you, not against you. Self-talk works because of a mechanism in your brain called the reticular activating system, RAS. The RAS acts like a filter. It sifts through the massive amount of information coming at you and focuses your attention on what's important based on what you're thinking about most. If you wake up and tell yourself, "Today is going to be awful," or "I'm not good enough," your brain will go to work filtering your day through that negativity. You'll notice the rude comments, the mistakes, the frustrations. You'll miss the small wins, the smiles, the opportunities, because your brain wasn't programmed to see them. But if you start your day with intentional self-talk like, "I am capable, I am resilient, I'm ready for anything," you send your RAS on a mission to find proof of that. You start seeing solutions instead of just problems. You recognize small victories. You feel more powerful because your brain is looking for evidence that you are powerful. This is not magic. This is focus. This is training your mind to support your mission instead of sabotage it. There's a reason why the most successful people in the world swear by morning routines that include affirmations and positive declarations. It's not because they're naturally more optimistic or more confident. It's because they've learned to armor their mindset before the world can tear it down. They understand that if you don't control your inner voice, the world and all its negativity will do it for you. The language you use with yourself first thing in the morning sets an emotional baseline for the whole day. If your baseline is gratitude, determination, and belief, you are far better equipped to handle the setbacks and surprises that life throws at you. You'll still have problems, but you'll face them with a mindset that says, "I can handle this," instead of "this is too much for me." Self-talk also builds self-trust. Every time you tell yourself something positive and then act in alignment with that, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. You told yourself you would face the day with courage, and you did. You told yourself you were capable of tackling that project, and you showed up and tried. Even if you don't succeed perfectly, the fact that you honored yourself, talk builds inner strength, and inner strength is where true confidence is born. But let's be real, this isn't always easy. Some mornings you're going to wake up feeling like absolute garbage. Some mornings your first instinct will be to doubt yourself, criticize yourself, talk yourself out of trying. That's normal. You are not broken because you have negative thoughts. You are human. The key is to recognize those thoughts as noise, not truth, and to speak a louder, stronger truth over them. You don't have to believe your positive self-talk 100% at first. You just have to say it. Over time, repetition will build belief. Think about it. If you've spent years telling yourself you're not good enough, and you believe that, it's not because it was true, it's because you repeated it to yourself enough times. Imagine what could happen if you chose to repeat a new, empowering narrative every single day. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love and believe in. You wouldn't tell your best friend you're going to fail today, would you? You wouldn't tell your child you're not good enough to chase your dreams. So why in the world are you talking to yourself that way? You need to be your own loudest, strongest supporter, especially first thing in the morning when your mind is most impressionable. Start tomorrow before you check your phone, before you let the stress of the day in. Stand up, look yourself in the mirror if you can, and say the things you need to hear. Declare your worth, declare your power. Declare your readiness. It doesn't have to be a long speech, even 30 seconds of strong, empowering self-talk can redirect your entire day. Remember, the world is noisy. People will doubt you, criticize you, ignore you. That's their business. Your business is what you say to yourself when no one else is around. That is what matters most, and that is what will carry you toward the life you are meant to live. Use your mornings wisely. Program your mind for success. Speak power over your day. Your future self will thank you. Most people wake up and immediately replay the same story they lived yesterday. They get trapped in the same worries, the same doubts, the same routines, and then they wonder why nothing changes. If you want to create a new reality, you need to make a decision every morning to step into it consciously and powerfully. You have to remind yourself that today is a fresh start. It doesn't matter how yesterday went. It doesn't matter how many times you failed before. What matters is what you decide to do today. Too often, we carry the weight of past mistakes and missed opportunities into every new day. It's like dragging a heavy backpack full of regret and disappointment everywhere you go. No wonder you feel tired before the day even begins. But the truth is, you don't have to carry yesterday into today. You can set it down. You can choose to see every sunrise as a reset button, a chance to realign with your goals, your purpose, your potential. Choosing a fresh start is about giving yourself permission to be human. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. You're not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to learn, adjust, and keep moving. When you wake up and declare today is a fresh start, you free yourself from the chains of perfectionism and the fear of failure. You stop beating yourself up for not being where you thought you should be by now, and you start focusing on the one thing you can control, what you do next. Think about how nature works. Every single day, the sun rises without fail. It doesn't matter if there was a storm yesterday. It doesn't matter if the sky was covered in darkness. The sun shows up, relentlessly. That's the kind of energy you need to tap into every morning. Show up for yourself, no matter what happened yesterday. No matter how you felt last night, today is a new opportunity to be a better version of yourself. This isn't about ignoring the past. It's about not letting it define you. Learn from it, sure. Reflect on it if you need to, but don't live there. The only thing you can impact is what you do with the next 24 hours in front of you. When you embrace each morning as a fresh start, you train yourself to live in the present, to make conscious decisions instead of reactive ones, and to move forward instead of staying stuck. You have no idea how powerful it is to approach your day with that mindset. Problems that once felt overwhelming start to look manageable. Challenges that used to paralyze you start to look like opportunities. When you decide every morning that you are starting fresh, you reclaim your personal power, the power to write a new story instead of repeating an old one. The danger is when you don't reset. When you let a bad week turn into a bad month, when you let a mistake define you for the rest of the year. That's how people get stuck, not because they're incapable, but because they stop giving themselves permission to start again. They think, well, I already messed up, so what's the point? The point is that growth is never linear, progress is messy, winning is ugly sometimes, but you can't win if you don't keep stepping up to the plate. Every morning you get a clean canvas. You get to choose what you paint on it. You can paint regret, fear, excuses, or you can paint courage, action, belief. You get to choose, and you have to remind yourself of that choice because the world will try to convince you otherwise. Your own inner critic will try to convince you otherwise. Your past will try to convince you otherwise, but none of that matters unless you believe it. What matters is what you decide. There's something unbelievably liberating about waking up and realizing you don't have to be who you were yesterday. You can reinvent yourself. You can make a new decision. You can change the narrative. You're not a prisoner of your past. You're the author of your future. But that story only changes if you take responsibility for your present. Some days, starting fresh will feel exciting. Other days, it will feel like a fight. That's okay. It's not supposed to be easy. Growth is uncomfortable. Transformation is messy, but it's worth it. And it begins the moment you decide that today is not just another repeat of yesterday, it's a new chance to rise. When you roll out of bed tomorrow, don't bring yesterday's baggage with you. Don't bring last week's failures. Don't bring last year's regrets. Look yourself in the mirror and say, today, I choose to start fresh. Today, I choose to move forward. Today, I choose to believe in myself. Say it like you mean it. Say it even if your voice shakes. Say it until your mind believes you. Because here's the truth. Your life changes when your mornings change. Your mornings change when your mindset changes. And your mindset changes the second you decide that you are not your past. You are your potential. You are your choices. You are your action today, right now. Every day is a second chance. Every sunrise is an invitation to be better, stronger, bolder. Take it, own it. Build the life you keep dreaming about, one fresh start at a time. And remember, no matter how messy it gets, no matter how many times you have to start over, you are worth it. You always have been. You always will be. Gratitude is not just some fluffy concept you throw around during Thanksgiving or when things are going your way. Gratitude is a daily practice, a deliberate choice, and one of the most powerful forces you can activate every morning to shift your mindset, your energy, and ultimately your life. It's easy to overlook because it's simple. It's easy to dismiss because it sounds soft. But gratitude is a weapon, a tool that can cut through negativity, fear, and stagnation if you choose to wield it. When you wake up and immediately focus on what's wrong, what's missing, or what's broken, you put yourself in a defensive, fearful state before the day even begins. You start the morning in survival mode instead of creation mode. And when your brain is in survival mode, it can't access creativity, problem solving, or joy. It's wired to protect, defend, and brace for impact. That's not the kind of energy that builds dreams. That's the kind of energy that keeps you stuck. Gratitude flips that script instantly. It forces your brain to look for what's good, what's working, and what's possible. It doesn't ignore problems. It gives you the strength to face them with a clearer mind and a fuller heart. Gratitude is the foundation for resilience. It gives you perspective. It reminds you that even when everything feels like it's falling apart, there's still something solid underneath your feet. There's still something worth fighting for. You don't have to feel like practicing gratitude to practice gratitude. That's the beauty of it. It's not about waiting until everything is perfect to be thankful. It's about choosing to find something, anything that is good right now. The roof over your head, the friend who texted you yesterday, the fact that you woke up and have another chance to try. Some days it will be big things. Other days it might be as small as a cup of coffee or the fact that you got out of bed when it was the last thing you wanted to do. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you find it and you name it. The science behind gratitude is real. Studies show that people who practice daily gratitude have lower levels of stress, better sleep, stronger immune systems, and higher levels of happiness and satisfaction. This isn't just emotional, it's chemical. Gratitude floods your brain with dopamine and serotonin in the feel, good chemicals that make you more optimistic, motivated, and resilient. It rewires your brain to notice and amplify the good instead of obsessing over the bad. Starting your morning with gratitude sets a tone of abundance instead of scarcity. Scarcity says, there's not enough, I'm not enough, life isn't fair. Abundance says, look at all I have, look at all that's possible, look at how much I've already overcome. When you choose abundance in the morning, you train yourself to approach the rest of your day with confidence, creativity, and openness. Opportunities seem bigger, problems seem smaller, Life feels more manageable because you're operating from a place of strength instead of fear. But let's be honest, gratitude takes discipline. It's easy to be grateful when things are going great. It's a whole different story when you're facing challenges, heartbreak, failure, or uncertainty. That's when gratitude matters most. That's when it becomes a true act of courage to look at your pain, your fear, your disappointment, and still find something to be thankful for. That's not weakness. That's strength. Gratitude is not about pretending everything's okay when it's not. It's about anchoring yourself in what's real and good even when things are messy and hard. It's about saying, this is tough, but I'm tougher. This is painful, but I still have reasons to keep going. It's about reclaiming your power from the things you can't control and focusing it on what you can, your attitude, your effort, your perspective. Every morning, before the noise of the world invades your mind, take a moment to anchor yourself in gratitude. Write it down if you can. Speak it out loud if you're able. Think of at least 3 things you're grateful for and really feel it. Don't just check the box. Let yourself connect to the emotion. Feel the warmth, the appreciation, the abundance that's already inside you. Carry that energy into everything you do that day. The beautiful thing is, gratitude compounds. The more you practice it, the more you see to be grateful for. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start noticing the kindness of strangers, the beauty in ordinary moments, the victories you used to overlook. Your life doesn't have to change dramatically for you to feel dramatically better about your life. It's the lens you're looking through that changes everything. And here's the secret. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel better, it makes you better. It makes you a better leader, a better partner, a better friend, a better version of yourself. Because people who are anchored in gratitude radiate something that's magnetic. They are calmer, stronger, more optimistic, and more inspiring. They don't get tossed around by every storm because they've built a foundation that's deeper than circumstance. Gratitude is not passive, it's powerful. It's a choice you make day after day, especially when it's hard. So tomorrow morning and every morning after that, choose it. Find something to be grateful for. Feel it deeply. Let it shape the way you walk through the world. Your mindset will shift, your energy will shift, and eventually your entire life will shift. Gratitude is the gateway to everything you're chasing. It's already inside you. All you have to do is open the door. Every morning when you open your eyes, you are faced with a choice. You can either sit in fear or stand in faith. That choice will dictate the quality of your day, your progress, and ultimately your life. Fear whispers a million reasons why you should stay small, why you shouldn't try, why you're not ready yet. Faith, on the other hand, roars with a simple truth. You are capable, you are strong, and you are more ready than you realize. Fear is easy. Fear is the default setting. You don't even have to work for it. It shows up uninvited. It lives in the unanswered questions. What if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if I lose everything? And if you're not intentional, fear will run your life on autopilot. It'll keep you from applying for the job, making the call, sharing the idea, starting the business, moving to that new city. It will keep you stuck in the same loop, convincing you that survival is good enough. Faith, though, is a muscle. It's something you have to build. It's the deliberate act of believing in what you can't see yet, trusting in your abilities before you have proof, and taking action even when you're scared out of your mind. Faith says, yes, there are risks, but there are also rewards. Yes, I could fall, but I could also fly. It's not blind optimism. It's courageous action despite uncertainty. When you start your morning choosing faith over fear, everything changes. You stop negotiating with your dreams. You stop talking yourself out of your own greatness. You stop allowing your doubts to have the final say. Instead, you remind yourself that you are bigger than your fears. You remind yourself that you've survived 100% of your worst days so far. You remind yourself that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward even when fear is screaming in your ear. Faith is what separates the people who live full, expansive lives from those who live trapped in their own comfort zones. It's what allows someone to keep getting up after failure, to keep showing up even when the odds are against them, to believe in a dream that nobody else can see yet. If you only move when you feel confident, you'll wait forever. Confidence is the reward for action, not the prerequisite. You have to act in faith first, then confidence comes later. Think about every major leap you've ever made in your life. Every bold decision, every moment you surprised yourself. Wasn't fear right there with you? Of course it was, but you did it anyway. You trusted that you would figure it out. You trusted that even if you stumbled, you would learn something important. That trust, that faith, is what made the breakthrough possible. Choosing faith every morning doesn't mean you won't have doubts during the day. You will. It means you've already decided they won't drive the bus. You've already decided that fear can ride along, but it doesn't get to touch the steering wheel. You've already chosen to lead your life from a place of vision, not a place of panic. You build faith by taking action, even when it's small. Make the call, send the email, write the first page, take the first step. Every time you act despite fear, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. You collect evidence that you can trust yourself. And over time, those small acts of courage stack up into unshakable self-belief. Faith also shifts how you handle setbacks. When you operate in fear, failure feels like confirmation that you're not good enough. When you operate in faith, failure feels like a stepping stone. You stop seeing it as a dead end and start seeing it as part of the process. You don't spiral into shame and self-doubt. You regroup, you learn, and you keep moving. You're going to have mornings where fear feels loud, where the what-ifs feel heavier than usual, where the unknown feels overwhelming. That's normal. That's part of being human, but you can still choose. You can still say, today, I trust myself. Today, I believe in the possibility of good things. Today, I choose faith over fear. Don't wait for the fear to go away before you chase your dreams. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for someone else to tell you it's your time. It's already your time. You've already got what you need inside you: the strength, the ideas, the resilience, the heart. Faith just reminds you to believe it. Every great story, every legendary comeback, every massive achievement, they all started the same way, with a decision to bet on faith instead of fear. Your story is no different. You are capable of extraordinary things, but only if you're willing to push through the fear and move anyway. So tomorrow morning and every morning after that, choose faith. Speak it out loud if you have to. I believe in myself. I believe something amazing is possible today. I believe I am stronger than my fear. Set that tone before the day tries to set it for you. Let faith be the foundation you build every action on, because life isn't about avoiding fear. It's about mastering it. It's about showing up messy, uncertain, scared, and doing it anyway. It's about trusting that the path will appear even if you can't see the whole map yet. It's about believing that you are worthy of the dreams planted in your heart. You have two choices every morning: fear or faith. Choose wisely, choose bravely, choose faith.